Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. Well, this is almost so unbelievable that, it seems like if someone maybe pitched it to you as maybe a film, that would seem pretty legit. Like I could see a movie coming out with this premise, but alas, this is the real deal. And it comes from a report that was recently posted by therooster.com. That's entitled, "Scientists are building a DMT machine that will help them talk to aliens." And yes, you heard that correctly. Many of you may be asking, well, what is DMT? Well, it's actually a drug known as N-dimethyltryptamine, which is a molecule that naturally occurs in many plants and animals. But if you've ever watched one of those Nat Geo shows, or maybe if you follow Joe Rogan, he talks about the experiences on DMT. It's a very powerful psychedelic that has historically been prepared by various cultures for ritual and healing purposes, and to this day is being used recreationally by those who dare, with people describing the effects as obviously hallucinations, out-of-body experiences. But also, many people have described something very similar happening in that they have connected or felt that they have connected with spiritual entities or otherworldly entities. Some might say aliens. DMT is also known as the spirit molecule, which, fun little fact here, is actually created inside of each and every one of your own brains. And many scientists believe that small amounts of this molecule are actually released while we're sleeping and may have something to do with why we dream. Researchers reported finding DMT in the pineal gland of rodents. The pineal gland, of course, is the part of the brain that produces melatonin, which obviously helps put us to sleep. And so now that you know what DMT is, we can move forward with this article. And so obviously, people have been trying to get into contact with aliens for a long time now. And this guy, whose name is Egon Ehrenberg, and who is a web marketer from South Florida, seems like an unlikely person to have nailed this objective. But he's one of a handful of people who thinks he's found a way to communicate with aliens, and with a brand new machine. Only his machine's key component isn't nuts or bolts, antennas, or telescopes. It's DMT. The report goes on to state that Ehrenberg is one of the small but growing group of people who believe that this obscure, powerful substance can be used to contact extraterrestrial life. With Ehrenberg himself stating, quote, "Contact has been made and we have found life." Now, it's pretty much a fact that when DMT is inhaled through usually a pipe or something like that, when it's smoked, you get these crazy visions, with many people describing seeing weird dancing characters, animals, cartoons, aliens, and even elves. Some people say it gives them the ability to astrally travel to new worlds, or to remote view. And the people that see these things aren't crazy, because pretty much anyone who does this substance will see these entities, with the effects of DMT lasting around 5 minutes. However, Ehrenberg, like thousands of others, believe that the things people see on DMT aren't just hallucinations or imagined characters in a strange dream. He thinks that they're real. Real like your dog is real, or you are real, or maybe like bacteria or radio waves are real. Real but invisible. And so basically he's talking about things that he believes exist outside of conscious perception. And side note here, we've spoken many times about these things. Obviously, we have scientists who've told us that we have many dimensions that we cannot see, we cannot taste, we cannot smell, and that these alternate dimensions could be sitting right on top of us, stacked, one on top of the other, but at simply a different wavelength. After all, it took special instruments to prove that radio waves and bacteria were real and existed. And so, following the footsteps of science, Ehrenberg and others hope to build a machine based on a design put forth by 2 academics in a scientific paper last summer. It's basically a DMT drip in order to get stable amounts of it in the bloodstream. Very similar to how anesthesiologists keep people on a stable concentration of anesthesia during surgery. Once they get the machine built, and someone will probably eventually do it, a subject will climb into bed, There will be a needle in the arm, a tube running down from a bag, a heart monitor, a blood pressure cuff, the beeping of machines. And in this bed, hooked to this machine, DMT will race through the blood of the brave person and they'll blast off. Not for 5 minutes like normal DMT trips, but perhaps 5 hours. Into what the machine's inventors say is the perceived alternate universe. Now, to be clear, once put into use, no one will have ever been as out of it as they will once hooked up to this machine. It's never been done before. But this entire thing shows the human desire to explore isn't dead, but simply taking new forms and traveling down new alleys. After all, it is the brave who have gone up and out of their way to search and discover and test, and this has marked the upsurge of mankind throughout the centuries. And regardless of whether it actually allows us to contact aliens, the study will certainly give us the most in-depth look into our minds, our spirituality, and the very spirit molecule that even scientists today don't fully understand. And that maybe this substance that's found in our own brains may just be the key to our third eye, as some call it, and the doorway into other dimensions. Now, so far, Aaron Berg isn't currently building this machine yet, but he has created a non-profit called Noanautics to start networking with people who can contribute knowledge and resources to the project, while obviously staying within the law. He says, quote, "This is like NASA. This is a launch pad to find new kinds of life. This is a new frontier." And just so as NASA is sending probes out there looking for extraterrestrial life, users are looking toward DMT to do the exact same thing. So there you guys have it. I will put the link to the full article. It's a really long article down in the video description. But yeah, I've always been extremely fascinated with DMT. The fact that it's found in our own brains, said to be possibly what causes us to dream. And then, of course, there's the trip reports from those who have actually been brave enough to do this. And some of the things that they have described are just, they seem to be so much more than just your typical trip from the other substances that give similar effects. And many people swear by it. And after going through the trip, claim to never be the same again, and that their lives take on new meaning, and that they actually did meet some sort of entity that even the human language can't even begin to describe. Now, again, I urge all of you, you can check on YouTube. There's a ton of really cool movies and documentaries and clips on YouTube about DMT, videos of people on it, people talking about it, people, giving you their experiences, whether it be with aliens or these entities. So Google is your friend, YouTube is your friend, I think, but it's a very interesting topic. There's a really good documentary. You can find it right here on YouTube. It's called DMT, the Spirit Molecule. And I'll actually just go ahead and put the link to that down in the video description so you guys can head over and watch it if you want. Also, this reminds me, and I think I spoke about this film once before, but I know with, the thousands of new subscribers we're getting every day, a lot of people are new to the channel. There is a very scary, freaky film out there for all of you science fiction nerds. If you guys like watching films having to do with aliens and supernatural entities, well, there's a film called The Banshee Chapter. And it's, by far, in my opinion, one of the most underrated science fiction and horror films that I had ever seen. I mean, this thing is a gem. And I think once upon a time it was on Netflix. It may still be there. But it deals directly with DMT. It's kind of like a found footage thing where an investigator goes on to research the secret government chemical along with these odd radio broadcasts coming from an unknown origin after her friend disappears after taking the chemical. So, yeah, it's called The Banshee Chapter. It came out in 2013. Of course, it's just a film, but it deals directly with DMT, and it very cleverly incorporates it into this horrifying film, which will be one of the main reasons why I never, ever experiment with this substance, because of this film. But yeah, it's really, really cool. So Banshee chapter, check it out. So again, something could come out of it, something may not, but it never hurts to try. So very interesting times. Let me know what you guys think. Have any of you had your own experiences with this substance? Let us all know down below. Thank you all for stopping by today. Be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you'll know when we post a new video, and stay tuned because I have much more coming, and I will see you back in just a bit. Stay safe, guys.